right, welcome everyone. Welcome to the Tradier intro webinar. My name is David Verbruggen. I'm going to kind of just be leading the discussion today. We're actually more just doing introductions. I'm excited today because we have Chris Lepore with us from Tradier. He is one of the vice presidents at Tradier. He's going to be sharing with us all about Tradier. Well, Chris, thank you so much for being on today. It's always a pleasure to have you, and I know you have some really good information to share. How are you doing today, Chris?
I'm doing well, David. Thank you very much for having me.
Great. Well, Chris, one of the reasons that we love you guys, Tradier, there's a bunch of reasons actually, but just to highlight some of the things, and I know Chris will speak more to this in a little bit. We love the compatibility that Tradier has with our charting platform, Charts by TRADEway. It works really well together, and we're going to actually do a little demonstration of that later on in the presentation here. Another reason that we love Tradier is they have extremely low commissions. Guys, that's a big deal. When you think about, as you're progressing in your trading, and then when you start to trade more and more, when you're looking at all the commissions and fees and everything, there's a term for that. It's called slippage, and that can turn into a certain percentage, eating away at your profits each year. So that to minimize that is extremely important. And so Tradier offers extremely low commissions, which is fantastic. They also have great customer service. That's obviously important. You need to get in touch with them. You can make a phone call. You can talk to a live person. So that's good stuff too. And of course, I already mentioned easy to link up your Tradier account to Charts by TRADEway, and we'll demonstrate that as well. Well, Chris, I'm going to stop talking here because we really want to hear from you today. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to you. So feel free to share your screen. And guys, again, any questions you have that come up, feel free to throw those in the Q&A.
Awesome. Thanks, David. All right. So yeah, we're going to take the time today just to talk a little bit about Tradier plus TRADEway, why this is such a great combination and how it can really maximize your trading and investing strategies. Just a little snippet about me here. I'm the vice president of operations here at Tradier. I've been in the industry a little over 18 years now. So I've been through the dot-com bubble of the late 90s and early 2000s. I've seen the financial crisis and now this latest period of volatility. So, it's kind of defined my career within the markets. I do personally get involved with different volunteer activities. One in which I'm very passionate about is my work in Armenia. My wife and I got to travel there this summer, and it's just such a blessing to be a part of work like that outside of the office. All right, so we're going to take a focus on three main aspects of online trading that we think are very important. The first is customer service. We at Tradier do offer both phone and email support, but not only that, we like to point out that it's knowledgeable support. Everybody who you speak to on the phone or send an email to is going to be a licensed broker. They're going to be located right here in Charlotte, North Carolina, and they are going to be able to help you in a courteous manner and hopefully get you what you need quickly. It's our hope that you don't need to call or email, but we know that things come up and we are certainly here for you. You'll see our hours listed on this slide as well, including our phone number and our email address. Of course, all of that is usually all over our website, and it's probably on the TRADEway website as well. Next, let's talk a little bit about pricing. David had alluded to this, and not only are commissions very important, but you've also got other fees that you need to consider. We spell these out on the service page of our website, where you can see what are standard fees within the industry. There's small regulatory fees. There can be assignment and exercise fees if you're trading options. There's inactivity fees and fees for money movement. Now, not all of these will apply at Tradier brokerage, but they are some that you should be aware of. The regulatory fees are going to be uniform across the industry. Assignment and exercise, like I said, pertain to options trading. If you do have an option that finishes in the money and you get assigned on it. Inactivity fees, Tradier does have an inactivity fee, but to avoid it, you simply need to do 2 trades in a year or have a $2,000 account balance. And as a TRADEway customer, if that ever happens to get on your account, just let us know and we'll reverse that for you. But it shouldn't be something that you'd ever have to worry about. And as far as money movement goes, we do offer ACH transfers free of charge. If you ever need a check out of your account, there's a minimal fee for that. I think it's $3 right now. And wire transfers do have a fee as well. Now, when it comes to the commissions, we do offer 2 plans. We offer both a pro plan and a standard plan. The standard plan doesn't cost you anything per month, but you do pay 35 cents per option contract. We always include commission-free equity trades. But if you're not going to be trading options with us or trading options with us frequently, you can stick with that normal standard pricing and not pay any monthly fee. Most customers who are fairly active with us do go ahead and sign up for the pro plan. It is $10 per month, and that includes commission-free option trades. Now, one caveat to that, if you are trading index options like SPX or NDX or RUT, those still carry the 35 cent per contract commission. But your standard Apple options, your SPY or QQQ, those are going to be commission-free with Tradier if you're on that pro plan. Now, you see the only $10 a month after the initial 3 months. That's because we provide TRADEway customers with their first 3 months with Tradier free of charge. So we waive that $10 for your first 3 months, which we think is a great incentive to come on board with us and give us a try without having to pay anything up front. Moving on to the last aspect we wanted to talk about today is the tools that you have to trade with. Tradier offers 3 main ways to access your account. We have our web-based platform, which we call Dash. It did actually just get a brand new upgrade last week, so it's got a snazzy new look and feel. We also offer a mobile app that you can download for your Android or Apple device. And then we also offer API integration. And this is where great programs like Charts by TRADEway come in. You can connect your Tradier account right to Charts by TRADEway and not even have to access the account through our website or through the app. You can do your trading and account management right through here. And that's what David's going to demonstrate for us. He's going to show us a trade in there. But we think that that is really something that separates Tradier and the relationship that we have with TRADEway from a lot of other brokerages out there. All right, that's all I'm going to talk about for now. I am looking forward to answering your questions, and I will go ahead and turn it back over to David to give you that overview on the trade demo.
That's great, Chris. Thank you so much for that. And guys, again, get your questions in the Q&A box. I already see a couple of them in there, so that's good. We're going to do Q&A time right after this quick demo here. So let me go ahead and share my screen once again. There we go. All right, just want to verify everyone's seeing charts by TRADEway. Is that correct?
I can see it.
Sweet, sweet. All right, there it is. Cool. Everything disappeared on me for half a second here, so we're getting set up again. All right. So adding an account in Charts by TRADEway is nice and simple. That's really good news. They don't make it hard here. So down here at the bottom left, you're going to see an account button, or in this case, I already have a paper trading account, but you can just add another one if you need. You come down here, you can see I got several different types of accounts set up in here as well. You can just click the plus button, add account, and now you can choose a number of different accounts here. But if you're adding a Tradier account, like a real account that you've set up, then you would click this Tradier right here. And you can also do a Tradier virtual account for your paper trading. That's what we're going to set up right now. The process is pretty similar between those two. So if we set up a Tradier virtual account, you select that, just click the box and hit continue. Now here we're going to get an opportunity to name this account. So maybe I'm going to name it paper trading in all caps. And then you can also give a color identifier as well to that account. Let's go with that right there. It's a little, oh no, I already got a purple in there. I don't know. Okay, let's go with this light green. That'll kind of differentiate it. A little lighter. There we go. Okay, let's do that. So not that the color really matters that much, guys, but you know, got to have it looking pretty here, right? So here we go. Now I have a paper trading virtual account, and Chris Lepore was nice enough to give us $100,000. So thank you, Chris. Really appreciate that. I don't think it works the same way for a real account, though. I don't think they just give you 100 grand, but you know, for the virtual account, that's nice. Now that we're in this virtual account, well, what do we do from here? Let me just show you just a quick demo on how to place a trade. Let's do it. Let's just pick Southwest Airlines. Why not? Now, quick disclaimer, guys, I'm not advocating a trade on Southwest, right? I mean, you can see this is a downtrending stock. Earnings is coming up. You know, we're not at a good, but we're just showing you the simplicity of clicking the buttons and putting on a trade here in the Tradier virtual account. So you've got your stock, you know, in this case, Southwest Airlines pulled up. It could be anyone. And we're just going to do a simple stock trade. Just click the buy button and it'll automatically bring up 100 shares here. You can do a limit price if you want. You know, bid ask is super tight right now. So maybe we'll just do a market just to make sure that we get in with it's okay for a stock trade. So there we go, 100 shares. We'll leave it at that. $3,200 of our total 100,000. To move forward, we're going to click the review button. And then we're going to hit submit. Once we have reviewed that we are in our virtual account, you know, want to make sure that if we're going to be putting on a big trade that we actually are in the virtual account, or if we're doing a real trade, we're in the correct live account. So there's no confusion there. Then you can hit submit, continue, and there it is. That position or that order has been executed at $32.61. And then you can see that position showing up here. And yeah, it shows a small loss right now because of the bid-ask spread right off the bat. But guys, it is that simple to simply add an account, And if you want to add your real account, you would choose Tradier, click the box, and it's going to have you simply log into your Tradier account to link the two accounts. And then you can place a trade just as easily as I did now in the live account too. Once you're in the account, the button pushing as far as getting into the trade or out of a trade is the same. So it is that easy, and we just want to demonstrate that to you to show you that it's not bad at all. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen here, Chris, and then if you wanted to pull up that question slide again, and then I'm going to start throwing some questions at you.
Yeah, and David, if you wouldn't mind, there's a couple of questions that I think will be quick towards the bottom of the chat, and one is actually queued up pretty well for something I wanted to mention to somebody.
Sure, yeah, go for it.
Yeah, David had asked, when a student signs up for their first brokerage account, there are a lot of questions they're not used to answering. This is especially true for getting set up for trading options. You know, David here and I were talking about this a little bit before the presentation started. And, you know, I have noticed some account applications coming in listing 0 trading experience. Now, we do require that you have some trading experience in order to initially get approved to trade options. Now, we ask for your years of stock trading experience and your years of options trading experience. Options trading experience is not required to trade the basic levels of options. Level 1 or level 2, which would be your covered calls, your cash secured puts, and just buying calls and buying puts. We only require that you list 1 year of stock trading experience in order to be qualified for that. So kind of 2 thoughts there. Number 1, if you're filling out an account application, just make sure to take your time in that section. And number 2, you know, I usually encourage folks to go ahead and make sure they consider any stock trading experience they might have had, any mutual fund trading experience they might have had. If you have experience with managing your 401k, choosing investments like that, in my definition, that counts. If you've had some pretty extensive training, go ahead and include that as well. And that's going to help us better get you approved for your options application. Now, should you have no trading experience at all, you know, it might be best to get started on some stock trades. And once you get that under your belt, we can absolutely reassess that with you, have you fill out a new options application and get that added to the account later. So we're very happy to help with that. If you want to ask any questions about it while you're going through it, we're certainly here to assist with that. So I'm glad that David brought that up, and glad we can help with that as well.
That's great, Chris. And yeah, guys, please hear us. That is, it's not like, oh, you can't trade options for a year. No. That's not what we're saying is, but it is best that you get some experience trading stocks first. So, you know, if you have no previous experience, you know, let's do some stock trades first, right? Let's get some experience pushing those buttons. Let's get some experience in the market, and you know, just learn how our emotions are involved too before we leverage both our money and our emotions with options. But when you have done several trades and you feel ready for options, then like what Chris said, go ahead and, you know, contact Tradier and fill out the options portion of the application, and can move forward from there. All right, great question. All right, Chris, question here from John. He's asking, is the Tradier ticker for the S&P weekly options, is that still SPXW?
It is. No changes have been made that way. Unfortunately, there is a lot on the technical side to make any changes to that. And that almost gets all the way down to how the OCC handles those securities. So no changes there yet. And, but we have talked with the developers and how charts works. And, we hope that we can get that into a good place in the near future.
Great. All right. Thanks for that, Chris. A question from Gordon here, saying that with Tradier, you have to wait till the next day to see results on a trade that you're in. Is there a reason for that, or what are your thoughts on that, Chris?
So the activity page of the website is a historical record. It comes directly over from our clearing firm, and that has to come over every night in a batch process. Now, all the trades that you place during the trading day are available on your main screen in the orders page. The new upgrades to our website now allow you to filter that, to sort that, and you can even go to a detailed view where you can actually even export all that to Excel. So it exists just in a little bit different place in a different format. And if you'd like any help with that at all, just let us know. We'd be happy to walk you through that.
Great. Thank you, Chris. All right. Nicole is asking, she signed up for a free account, and she's wondering if she can switch it to the pro version and get the 3-month trial. Is that possible to switch over?
Absolutely. For anybody who, and this kind of feeds into the options trading question, if you come on board with us and you're just going to trade stocks for a little while, we're not going to use up your 3-month trial period for the free options trading. So just let us know once the account is approved for options trading. We'll go ahead and honor that 3 free months for you and then set you up for the $10 a month after that period.
Great. Awesome. All right. Next one here. Joe's asking, how much money would we need to open a Tradier account?
There is no minimum, so it's entirely up to you.
Great. Awesome. And Joe, I see your other question here. We'll probably do that at the very end here. Todd is asking, he was in the process of setting up a Tradier account and got to the last 2 questions. One being accepting terms to allow Tradier access to accounts.
I guess he's just what he's asking. Yeah.
Oh yeah, go for it, Corey. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, Todd, for that bank verification process, it uses a system called Plaid. And that is the way that Plaid works. You are granting access to, in a view only sense, to your bank accounts during the initial setup. Once the setup is done, there's no longer any access to those accounts. From our side, it simply displays the account ownership of those accounts, and then we will only see the actual account that you link up from that point forward. If that's still an issue for you, let us know. You can skip that step as part of your onboarding just to get the account open, and then we can do an alternative verification method using micro deposits and avoid a check instead of Plaid.
Awesome. Thank you, Chris. Hey, Daniel's got a good question here. When we were using E-option to do spreads, we had to take step 3 before being able to do spreads in E-option. Is that the same with Tradier?
I'm not quite sure what's being asked in terms of taking step 3.
Okay. Yeah. So step 3 is essentially the credit spread education that we have. Okay. I think basically what he's asking is, in order to be able to get access to trade spreads, will we have to provide proof of completion of that course?
Sure. Okay. So Our standard requirement is that you have at least 1 year of stock trading experience and 1 year of option trading experience to get to spread trading in the account. That's what we consider level 3 options trading. If you meet that criteria, there's no issue or training requirement that we have. Now, if you don't have that trading experience of 1 year of options, 1 year of stocks, then we would need to work with you a little bit in terms of seeing what experience you do have and seeing if an exception can be made.
Gotcha. All right. Thanks, Chris. Nicole's asking, can we still use options in our virtual account with paper trading, even if it's not yet approved in our real account?
Yes, you can.
Great, great. And that question leads really well into this next one, Chris. John is asking, do paper trades count as the trading experience that you guys are looking for?
So my answer somewhat from a regulatory standpoint is that it's not exactly apples to apples when it's counted, but we do look at it as something that we consider to kind of tip the scales. So if you've never placed a live options trade, I think that saying you have 1 year of trading options, just doing it in virtual trading might be pushing it a little bit. But if you've done some live trades and some paper trading and maybe don't quite have that year yet, maybe only have 6 months, then I would say that probably tips the scale to where we could get the account approved.
Awesome. Awesome. And see, Gordon has a follow-up to his question. He says they're not showing fees. This was on the activity page question.
Yeah, and that's just, those fees are calculated by our clearing firm, so we just don't have a way to display those in real time. If it's that much of something that you'd like to track, Gordon, then I would probably suggest, maybe downloading the intraday orders and then attaching the fees on your own, at least the best estimate of them. You can get those estimated fees off of our website, or you can look at your previous trade confirmations and kind of back them out. But that's the best you probably can do there on an intraday basis.
Awesome. David is asking, is it allowed to, or are we allowed to borrow money from 401k and invest it with Tradier?
Yeah, so, borrowing, that's going to be up to you. And, you really want to consider everything from a tax standpoint. So I can't advise you yes or no. We don't track necessarily where the money comes in. Now, that being said, a lot of people, instead of quote unquote borrowing the money, they will do a 401k rollover into an IRA here with us. And we offer traditional Roth SEP IRAs here at Tradier. And all of those do allow you to trade options up to level 3. So basically, you just can't do naked options in IRAs, but you can trade spreads and long options in there.
All right. Todd is saying there's a question in the chat box asking if someone can do an IRA rollover.
Absolutely. Just
Perfect.
like we were just talking about, right into those IRAs.
Perfect. All right. I might have missed part of that there as I was typing away on another question. Let me see here. We got several replies. Let's do this one. Can a 403B also be rolled over into an IRA with Tradier?
Yes, absolutely. Same process, almost exactly.
All right.
I see
Mark's asking,
William's question. Oh, I'm sorry.
oh no, you go ahead.
I see William's question just asking about the requirements to trade options. William, we'd said on this, we're looking for 1 year of stock trading experience in order to get approved for level 1 and 2 options, and an additional 1 year of options trading experience to get approved for level 3, which includes spreads.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Chris. Got a question from Mark here. Essentially asking, as far as, let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. He's basically asking, I think, what difference really is there between the paper trading and the live trading? I mean, obviously one is going to be virtual money, where one is real money. And we know the pushing the buttons is going to be the same, but are we going to experience any other differences in virtual trading versus live trading? Maybe are orders more easily filled in one versus the other, or what are your thoughts on that, Chris?
Yeah, whenever you do virtual trading or paper trading, you have to remember that this is a simulation of the market. So first of all, it's going to be based off of delayed data. So the prices are going to be from roughly 15, maybe 20 minutes prior to the time that you place the trade. As well, you can only simulate market conditions so well within a virtual trading environment. So a virtual trading environment might say, hey, I'm going to buy 100,000 shares of stock. And it's just going to go and say, okay, the price at that time was $5.25, and it's going to fill it all at $5.25. In reality, when you try to buy those 100,000 shares of stock, you're going to move the price of that stock. So you might get filled some at 525, then some at 526, and then 527, etc. So those are some things that people consider when they go from virtual to live. But otherwise, the actual mechanics of it are very similar.
Awesome. All right, great question, Mark. All right, Chris, we've got one question left, and Joe is asking, hey, you showed us how to get into a trade using the Tradier virtual account in Charts by TRADEway. How about you show us how to get out of the trade? So why not? Let's do it. I'll go ahead and share my screen again real quick. And I also want to let everyone know, if you guys want tutorials on Charts by TRADEway that move in a pretty slow manner so that you can easily keep up, just email support@tradeway.com. We recorded a 3-part basic training series on Charts by TRADEway back in May. And so we can very easily send you those links. So again, support@tradeway.com. Just ask for the Charts by TRADEway basic training, and you'll get what I'm about to show you here and a whole lot more in there as well. So to close this position, remember we bought 100 shares of Southwest Airlines, and let's pretend it's several days later now, and we're either taking our profit or we're going to stop out of this thing. But regardless, we're going to close this position. You come down here, make sure you're in the correct account again, and you're looking at the correct trade. This is our position that we opened up in Southwest Airlines. And we're going to go ahead and go all the way to the right here and look for the button that says close. That's the action that we want to take. We're going to close it. And then we can, again, either do a limit order to get out, or in this case, let's just do a market order so that we make sure it goes through. And we're going to review that. We're going to sell those 100 shares of Southwest Airlines. We're going to submit it and hit continue. And now we're going to see that we executed at 32.53. So, in the 20 minutes or so that we were in this position, we lost 7 cents a share. Not too bad. It comes out to $7 total. But, looking at that chart, we wouldn't really want to be in the position anyway, right? So it is that simple as well to just get out of the position there. All right. Chris got a couple more questions that came up. Actually, that one, Jose, that'll be in the, just ask for the basic training videos, and that'll show you how to change the candlesticks and everything. Chris Gordon is asking, would love to have the number of day trades shown on the Tradier platform. Is that a possibility within the Tradier platform to show like a day trade?
Yeah, so that's an enhancement that's coming. The best estimate I can give is closer to the end of the year, but that's going to require a big upgrade that's about to happen with our order management system. So it's something that we're working on and hope to have in the next few months.
All right, awesome. And Daniel's also asking, what for Tradier, what is the day trade limit? Is it still 3 days, or what is that limit for day trading?
Oh, and he just popped up and said in a virtual account. So, I'll address this in both day trading and in virtual. In virtual, you can go nuts. It's a margin account. It's got $100,000 in it, so you can trade without restriction within there. Of course, in a live account, Tradier, there's no exceptions to these rules when it comes to day trading and amongst brokerages in the United States. So we've got to follow the same rules as everybody else. So 3 day trades in a 5-day period will keep you under the day trading threshold. If you do 4, then you are considered a pattern day trader. Now, of course, keep in mind that this only applies to a margin account. In a cash account, you are not limited to the number of trades. You just have to consider the cash that you have in the account and whether it's settled and unsettled. And if you want any more details on that, my trading team is absolutely happy to discuss that with you.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Chris. Got a question here asking about a demo of the Tradier website or mobile version. Is there any training out there on navigating Tradier's platform?
Yeah, let me see if I can provide this link here. I just created a video recently for our new website. It spends about 5 minutes going through some of the new features and where to find some of the things. So I just put that into the chat for you. This is kind of the first foray into us having some videos in regards to our platform. So we'll actually be making some more of those to get in depth with some of the additional features on there, like advanced orders, option chains. So check that out. That's the first one that kind of goes over some of those features and everything.
Awesome. Great. Gordon is asking, are spreads that are day traded, are they considered 1 day trade? So I believe he's asking because with a spread, we've got multiple positions on here. So if we day trade that credit spread, debit spread, whatever it is that going to be 1 day trade or 2 if we've got 2 legs?
As long as it is put on as a spread and taken off as a spread, then it is 1 day trade. So if you have a 2x2 or a 2-leg spread, you put it on as 2, you take it off as a spread, that's 1 day trade. But if you go ahead and you put it on as 2 and then you close out your short leg and then you close out your long leg, that would be considered 2.
Okay, so legging in and out, that's going to make more there. But if, okay, Gotcha. And he's asking the same thing about forward or about ratio spreads. So I believe that's going to be the same answer then.
Same thing. Yep.
Okay. All right, Gordon. So do it all at the same time. It's going to be one, but if you leg in or out, then it's going to be multiple there. All right. Well, those are really great questions, guys. Thank you guys so much. Our board is clear right now. Chris, if they have any other questions that come up, how can they get a hold of you? Or do you want to throw that last slide up real quick so they can write down that phone number and email address? Oh, there it is. You're throwing the chat. Perfect, guys. So service@tradierbrokerage.com. Write down that phone number. Guys, it is a really good idea to have the Tradier phone number in your phone, like on speed dial, right? Because it happens once in a while where, you just, something's not going right. You're pushing the wrong buttons. You can't get out of a trade, whatever the case may be. I remember one of my first trades, I just didn't really know what I was doing. And I couldn't get out of this trade. That was actually, I really wanted to get out of that trade. And I just made a phone call to the broker and they were able to get me out like that. So it is very handy to just have that phone number in your phone. So go ahead and put that in there. That'll really help you out. Chris, thank you so much for being on today. This was great. Some good information. Had some really good questions answered. So thank you again for being on.
Glad to do it, David. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, guys. And I'm throwing that link in the chat one more time. Join.tradier.com/TRADEway. And that'll bring you right to where you need to be to open an account with Tradier. All right. Well, that's going to wrap this one up. So thank you guys once again for being on and taking, 45 minutes of your day to learn about the brokerage that we recommend. So thanks, Chris. Thank you all. And we'll see you guys on the next one.